Alright guys, well for those of you playing along at home, last time we made a template for a boomerang and I showed you how to do that in Illustrator. In this episode, whatever you want to call it, we're going to make the boomerang itself. And I figure we'll make one that looks originally like the Wind Waker boomerang to see if it can fly. We'll also make one that looks like, you know, a standard boomerang that you could buy from a store, just adapted to the shape. And then we will convert a boomerang that you buy off the shelf to look like a Wind Waker boomerang. Now, I got to admit, I really don't think this is going to work because being able to make something but being able to throw it are two different things, and if we can get it to come around and come back to us, that's going to be amazing. It's going to blow my mind because, again, I think I said this last video, I had a boomerang as a kid and I could not get it to come back to me. So if you guys try this and you can get it to work, good for you. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are going to be much more educational than this one, but I really wanted to get my hands in it and see if we could do it. Let's find out if it works. I think that's about it. Oh, and yes, my son was born. We have a baby boy. We didn't know, remember last time, so we named him Colin, and he's sleeping now, and he's healthy and happy, and mom's doing good. So we're all happy here. Life is great, except he's not letting us get much sleep, so we're pretty tired. Maybe if he's awake by the end of the video, I'll bring him down. You guys can see him. So let's get started. Let me show you what we have planned here. So here's the left and right sides of the original Wind Waker boomerang. This is one we've adapted to be more like the standard size you might find. You can get this at Hobby Lobby. If you use the coupon, you're in it, I think, less than $5. I really doubt you're going to find this at like an Ace Hardware, Home Depot, or Lowe's. This plywood, you can see, has 5 layers, and you can find this craft plywood at most hobby stores. They should have some. And I've used this before making boats as a kid. Anyway, that should be it. Let's get going. So I'm going to start with the first printout, and these are always, all these printouts, if the project requires a printout, you're going to get it for free in the video description. I put them all in there. You don't have to pay for them or anything. So I'm just going to cut this out, tape it together, and we'll trace this on the wood. I don't know if you noticed this, but I printed both right sides actually, so this will still work, but I'll fix it for you guys in the template you print out. It's going to look a little bit different. Okay, we are going to cut it out now, and this is all you need, really. You don't need a fancy scroll saw like I'm going to use, okay? Just something like this. And this is all I had for years and years. But this is the tool I'm going to use. It's just a bit faster. It does the same thing. In case you're wondering, you've seen me use this before. Let's see, this is, what is that, 16-inch 2-speed scroll saw. Okay, now we're going to go into this sanding stage, and this is where you make it a left or a right-handed boomerang. Let me show you a little bit about that. So again, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to shape this for me. But I bought this one. This is also a left-handed boomerang. You can see one side has these bevels here on the blades, and this side is totally flat. This is one that I got as a kid, and this is a right-handed one. And it's beveled opposite. You can see this edge on the lefty is beveled, on the righty it's this one. Lefty on this edge, righty on that edge. So to throw this, I would hold it like this in this hand and flick it like that. This right-handed one the blades are going to be there, and flick it. And I'll put that on the printout. You don't have to worry about it, but you can just copy whatever's on the printout if you're right or left-handed. So before you sand it, because this is symmetrical both sides, there's not any difference on this side to this side, you're going to want to find out if there's a curve in the wood. So sometimes when you cut it, it might relieve some stress and your wood will bow like this. And if it does, then you're going to need to flip it, and that will be the side that you sand down. Okay, so if you throw it, the curve of the wood needs to be how it's going to turn to you. Oh man, I don't know if any of that's making sense. But if I have a curve going this way in this wood right here, it's going to fly that way. The only difference between this one and this one is on this one, these guys sanded down the part where you hold. There's just a little lip there. See that? So if I'm holding it and flicking it, this is an added feature that they did. And I'll probably incorporate that in this design as well. So next thing to do is sand it down, and I made a little sanding block. I just glued some sandpaper to this block of wood so I could have a nice flat edge to rub against there. And we're going to use the belt sander as well, and just put in these tapered edges. So it's starting to take shape. It needs to come in maybe, I think, at least a third. So I'm going to go in a little further. And same on here, come in a little bit. So all that's left now is a ton of sanding. I'm going to round these edges all the way around and just refine it a little bit. Probably mostly by hand with a block, things like that. This one's looking pretty good as well. I have to taper these in a bit more, but you get the idea. You get some clean straight lines, and I'm going to round these edges all the way around so it's nice to hold and it cuts through the air a little bit better. Before I get too far, I'm going to transfer some of these designs on, and I can do that by putting some pencil lead on these lines like this, and then I'll flip it over and do it again, and it'll push in the markings into the wood. You'll see. Okay, so there is the markings. Now I just do the same thing on this side. Flip it around and go over the same outlines, and it'll push those marks into the wood. And this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just something we're going to be throwing around. I'm not going to put too much time and effort into this project just because it's a toy. We're not going for a realistic, super realistic mint condition prop here. There we go. All right, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can. So I'm just going to darken all of these up. All right, now I can just cut in, just do a little bit of a relief carving. If I was going to make this a cosplay prop, I would put wood on top of here instead, but because it's a boomerang, it's got to be nice and flat. So I'm going to add definition by cutting in all the way around like that. So you can do that a few ways. You can cut in deep like this with a razor blade, an X-Acto knife, and then cut in at an angle. This one's really dull. Let's see if I got a better blade. So if you cut in like that, you're going to have this little notch there, just enough to give it a bit of definition. Or we can try some chisel work here, and again, you're going to want to cut in straight to make sure you got a clean line. So I'm cutting in deep. We can chisel out a bit like that. Or a Dremel tool, let's try that. Yeah, this is definitely the easiest way to do it. It's probably going to get a little difficult here, so I'll mix between all three tools and we'll cut this out. And these chisels, I'll put a link to them in the description. These were sent to me as a gift from Banggood, and I do like them. There's a whole set and they're very sharp. They're not that expensive, and I like them better than these. I've had these for years and I paid a lot more money for them, but these chisels are really nice. And there's all different size tips, and we're going to use these again in future projects. Pushing really hard like that, and then I can scoop away some material like this. So I just finished carving these up and sanding them. You can see the design pops out just a bit, but it's still fairly flat, so it might still fly. This design is a lot different because these wings taper down very narrow, and there's so much bulk here from all this wood that I'd be surprised if this one works. But this one, we actually have a chance of this actually returning to us. Right now I want to run to the store and get maybe some jewels. Hopefully they have something that would work. If not, I'll just have to paint it, but it'd be neat to put something in there. Also, while we're there, I'll show you where I got this wood. You can see the store display. So let's get in the car and get out of here. All right, we're here in the aisle with the model train parts. There's the model rockets, and this is where I got the wood here from this display. But if you come over here, you can see this big display of all kinds of wood, but they don't have anything like that, at least not the same dimensions. So just look around. All right, let's find the jewelry stuff. I found some stuff that looks cool, but I don't want to get into trying to make that round. And then stuff like this, just too small. So I think we'll just skip it, but if I find something later, maybe we'll come back to this. On the way out of the store, I found some buttons that'll work. They're kind of close, so at least we'll get an idea of what it might look like if you did find something good to put in there. So I'm gonna drill a little hole, see if we can make it look kind of cool. But what I like is they're like a deep ruby red, which is neat. And that'll, look at that, that's kind of cool. Maybe. I do not have a drill bit this size. This is some obscure size, so I'm just gonna have to mark this by hand and cut it out by hand. Wow. This, I don't have a drill bit the exact size, but this is literally, like there's almost 0 play. It's less than a millimeter of play right here. Can you believe that? All right, we're nearly done. So all I'm gonna do now is add in a little bit of detail on the back, just for, you know, to make it look good. And we'll paint it and test fly it. Hopefully this works. Now, I don't have faith that this will work, but wouldn't it be cool if it did? All right, we're done now with this stage and it looks good enough. I'm not gonna put too much work into this because this is gonna be just thrown around outside, but I think with some paint, this will look pretty good. Now I'm gonna put some acrylic in the corners just to give it a little definition, make it pop a bit more, and then we'll take it out and fly it. I didn't spend much time painting or sanding this because we're gonna abuse it. But you can probably do a much better job if you're just wanting to make something for like cosplay or something. This one is the shape of an actual boomerang that might come back to us. So again, these are really thin. I didn't build them up, and I really want to see if this one will work. Again, I don't think it will because I'm not very good at this. And then this is the store-bought one. I was gonna finish the painting, but I really want to get these out and do these today. So you could just get a regular boomerang, shape it up a bit, paint it if you don't want to do all the woodwork and cutting. But let's find an open field and see how these fly. Let's get out of here. Okay, buddy. Here's Colin. Here's our new baby boy. Said I'd show you. He's falling asleep. Bye, buddy. Well, I'm gonna practice with this one. So again, I'm left-handed. So the wind is coming at me. Feels like it's right about there. So that means I'm gonna throw, I think it's about 30 degrees to the left of the wind because I'm left-handed. And you hold it like this, not like this. And so I don't throw straight. I throw at a bit of an angle and up a bit. So, you know, about that high. And again, I have no expectation this is gonna come back to me. It felt like the wind changed. So it's now coming from there. So I'm gonna throw it over here. Now let's give it a shot. Hey, check it out. It's not the worst. So I'm going to practice a few more times before I jump onto these. Let's try it again. Oh, way too low. And go! In the teeth. Okay, here we go. Shoot. No, that's good. Okay, here we go. See, that's looking right. Ah. All right. Okay, I don't know how many throws that was, but I did catch it. I had to run a little bit, but I did catch it. So now we'll try this one. My mistake before was I was throwing too hard, so I gotta ease up a little bit. All right, this is strong wind. So wind's coming at me from here. I will throw here. Oh! Wind's coming there. I'm gonna throw a little bit off. Woo! You know, this'll work. It's my brother Andrew. Too hard, too high. There. Oh, I got it, I got it, I got it. Come on. Oh! That was a little sloppy, but it worked. Yeah! Good. All right, I caught this one twice. We don't know if it was on camera, but I caught it twice. Now let's try this one, which I have no hope for. But wouldn't it be cool if this came back? Wind's coming from there. I'll throw it about there. Let's see. And oh my goodness, it's gonna work. Oh! Oh! I don't think I'm throwing, like I'm too into the wind. Too hard. Ah! Oh! Ah! Five. Shot. Okay, here we go. Got it, got it, got it, got it. Come on. Yes. Did it. Let's get out of here. I gotta be totally honest, that was a lot of fun. I was surprised how much fun it was to make a boomerang from scratch, take it to a park, being able to throw it and have it come back. I was blown away. I honestly was convinced that it wouldn't work. So, you know, it was a nice surprise to be able to catch it. That was really cool. So if you guys make anything on this channel, I would put this up on the list. If it looked like fun at all, it's way more fun doing this. So the wood's cheap, it's easy to get. One thing I didn't include in the video that I noticed was I didn't tell you how much to sand down. This is not, you're not sanding the edge here to a razor's edge. You're going down, remember this is 5 layers of plywood. you're going down 3 layers. So you stop when it's 2 layers thick, and you can see the stripes that it makes once you've gone through the layers. And that's about it. They're real simple. Today was my first day doing it, you know, and so I didn't include all of the mess ups. You know, there was a lot of throwing that I cut out because it would just be too boring. But it didn't take that long to be okay at it, you know, so I surprised myself. I do have some viewer mail I wanted to read. Let's do this first one. Let's do the technical one first. This one is from Daniel, and he has a laser engraver question. He says, "Hi Adam, on the 26th I sent you an email stating that I purchased a 2.5 watt version of that laser engraver you show on your YouTube channel. And I apologize, I hadn't responded, and you emailed again. In that email I was asking you the following: could you please give me an address where I can download the latest version, virus-free version of the software you were using, Benbox? I've been looking all over and can't seem to locate a site that looks anywhere near trustable." That's true. I just downloaded it from whatever Banggood had at the in the sales page. Down there, there's a link below. I just clicked it and downloaded that. I didn't think about it. I'm a Mac guy, PC guy, or PC knowledge is not something I'm very familiar with. So it could have a virus. I don't know, but nothing's happened to the computer so far. But I know a lot of you are sending me emails about other software, and so I'm going to do a video in the future and look into other software besides Benbox that we might be able to use. It's probably a little bit better anyway. So anybody else who has help for him, Daniel, please leave comments in the comments section if you have any helpful info on that. And then another question about the laser engraver. This one's from Geek Kingdom. He says, "Good video. Can you please post the settings you use to engrave the logo on the wooden sword? I have a 5.5 watt, but I couldn't get it to produce such a result in your video." My laser is a 1.6 watt. Yours is 5.5. So I'm assuming that one part of the settings have to change to tone yours down so it doesn't burn so much. But I, for the life of me, can't remember what the settings were. I was hoping that I included them in the video itself, maybe a screenshot or something, but you're asking me makes me wonder. So I'll have to go back and look in the video and see if I did show a picture of the settings. If not, I'll just have to get back to you and look those up and put it in a future video. But a lot of you did buy laser engravers, and so we'll be making some other projects with that. Hopefully in the near future. Let's see, this one is from Dan Lindman. He says, "Hi, I would just like to send thanks from Sweden for inspiring and instructional videos. I just got finished with my Master Sword, which is an Ocarina of Time replica, since that's my favorite game. I tried to lathe the handle like you did, but I couldn't get the whole sword in one piece, so I built it in pieces instead, like a real sword. I'm very proud of the result. Currently working on the scabbard. Almost done. I'll keep an eye out for your tutorial. This is my first ever fan mail. Thanks again for tons of inspiration and professional videos. Best regards, Dan Lindman." Yeah, my scabbard tutorial is coming. And I have been thinking about it, building it in my head, but I'm just behind. I apologize. But I really like what you did. These are some nice photos. Good job on those. And I have to say, you picked the absolute perfect color purple. And where did you get it? What did you use? If you mix it up yourself, that's one thing. But if I can buy that in a can, I want to know what you found, because I could not find anything that I was happy with. But yours looks spot on. So anyway, thanks for those photos. If you guys want to send me an email, you can send it to happyadamirl@gmail.com. I'll have my contact info and all the links that you might need for this video or other stuff down below in the description. Click on that and you can contact me. I think that's going to be it. I'd like to say thanks again to Banggood for sending me these chisels. I was actually shockingly surprised with how much I like them. I didn't know that they would be that good. So thanks again for that. And if you guys are interested in those, I'll put a link in the description to those. I think that about covers it. You guys are great. Thanks for watching these videos. And again, if you make one of these guys, please send me a video. Take pictures and send a video, and I highly recommend you do make one of these. It's a lot of fun. You know, a lot of the props and cosplay stuff, you really can't do anything with it because it'll get damaged. This thing I was throwing around for hours, and it's perfectly fine. Really, the only thing this does have is a few scuffs here and there on the paint, but other than that, it's really held up. It's really durable. And in fact, if I had to do this over again, I would spend more time cleaning this up and sanding it, make it look even better. But I just thought it would be totally busted up after this many times that I threw it. But again, if you guys do it, film it and send it to me. I'd love to see what you guys come up with and how you guys do. And I gotta apologize for the footage that I took. I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you noticed, that lens was dirty and a lot of it was shaky, but now that I've filmed throwing a boomerang, I think I could do a better job next time. So we'll make another boomerang sometime in the future, and I'll get better footage, I promise. That's gonna do it for this video. Thanks guys so much for the support. Thanks for the likes and the comments, all the emails, all the pictures, all the things that you send my way. It's really nice because it's a two-way street. You know, I'm sending you guys videos and you're sending me the stuff that you've done. So I do appreciate that. Anyway, that's gonna do it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.